The twin suns of Valerian dipped behind the crystal mountains, casting violet and gold light across the palace balcony where Queen Arathia stood. Her silver robes fluttered in the warm wind as she stared at the horizon, at the sky where her daughter had disappeared 5 years ago. Princess Lyriel, her firstborn, her heir, her stubborn, star-struck daughter who had defied every royal decree, vanished through a forbidden portal and broken half the laws of the empire, just to follow a human man. Queen Arathia whispered as she had whispered every evening for years. "Where are you, child?" Her voice trembled, not with anger, not anymore, but with the heavy, ancient ache of a mother who had lost half her soul. Behind her, the palace attendants waited in respectful silence, understanding that this hour, every day, belonged only to the queen and her grief. But today, this day was different. A tremor rippled across the horizon, a distortion of air, a swirling of light like a star exploding quietly. A portal. Queen Arathia's breath caught. No, impossible. The guards rushed forward, weapons drawn, but the queen raised a hand. A glowing tear in space bloomed wide, and 3 figures stepped out. A tall, muscular human man, a slender alien woman with silver-blue skin and long white hair, and beside them, 2 small children holding hands, blinking up at the palace with wide, curious eyes. The queen's heart stopped. "Lyriel?" The woman lifted her chin, eyes shimmering with violet light, the same royal glow all Valerian queens carried. "Mother," Princess Lyriel whispered, and with that single word, 20 royal guards collapsed to their knees in shock. Queen Arathia stumbled forward. You returned to me." Lyriel smiled softly, no longer the rebellious girl Arathia remembered, but a woman who had lived, suffered, loved, and fought. And then the queen saw the children. A small girl with human-shaped pupils and glowing Valerian markings along her cheeks. A little boy with pale silver hair but warm human skin. Her eyes widened. Her voice came out as a gasp wrapped in disbelief. Are these my grandchildren?" The children looked up at her, unsure, clinging to each other. Lyriel nodded. "Yes, mother. These are your grandchildren, Aria and Terran." Queen Arathia swayed where she stood, placing a trembling hand over her mouth. "My blood, the royal line in them?" Lyriel took a step forward. "In them flows both Valerian power and human strength." Arathia's gaze snapped to the human man standing protectively beside them. "So," she said slowly, "you must be Kale." He bowed deeply. "Your Majesty, I've heard much about you." Arathia raised one eyebrow. "Only good things, I hope." "Mostly warnings," he admitted. Lyriel shot him a sharp look, but the queen laughed, a sound the palace had not heard in years. "Come," she said. "Let me look at them." The children hesitated, but Lyriel gently guided them forward. When they stood before her, the queen knelt, something she had not done for anyone in decades. The little girl tilted her head. "Are you a queen?" Arathia smiled softly. "Yes, little star. But right now, I am simply your grandmother." The boy reached out, touching her crown with one small finger. "It sparkles." Arathia's eyes filled with tears. "So do you." She pulled them gently into her arms. The palace attendants gasped, royal protocol shattered, but Arathia didn't care. She held the children like a starving soul finally tasting life again. Lyriel quietly whispered to Kale, "I've never seen her cry." Kale wrapped an arm around her. "Now she has a reason." Chapter 2. The Human Who Stole a Princess. Inside the Grand Hall, the Queen summoned no generals, no advisors, only a quiet supper with her daughter's new family. Kale sat beside Lyriel, holding her hand under the table. The children devoured food with human enthusiasm and royal curiosity, making the Queen laugh more times than she had in years. Finally, when the children were asleep beside Lyriel, Arathia's gaze turned sharp. "You," she said to Kale. "Human." Kale straightened. "Yes, Your Majesty. You took my daughter across galaxies. You hid her from the Empire. You dared bind yourself to the royal bloodline. Do you understand the consequences? Kale took a breath. Yes. And you still did it? Yes. Explain yourself. Kale swallowed. When I first met Lyriel, she was lost on my world. Injured. Alone. People feared her. But she trusted me. Lyriel looked down, her fingers tightening around his. Kale continued, I didn't fall in love with a princess. Or an heir. I fell in love with a woman who laughed at human food, tried to pet my neighbor's cat, and asked me what clouds tasted like. Arathia raised an eyebrow. Clouds? Really? Lyriel muttered. I was curious. Kale added. I protected her. She protected me. And somewhere along the way, my life became hers. For the first time, Arathia looked at him not as a threat, but as the man who had stood beside her daughter for years. She spoke softly. You love my daughter? With all that I am. And my grandchildren? More than my own life. Silence. Long, heavy. Important. Then Arathia exhaled. Good. Lyriel blinked. Good? That's all you have to say. For now. The queen stood. You left as a reckless girl, she said to Lyriel. But you returned as a mother. A leader. Ready to face what comes next. Lyriel's eyes softened. Mother, I missed you. Arathia touched her cheek gently. And I nearly burned the universe searching for you. Chapter 3. The Empire Reacts. The next morning, the palace woke to breaking news. The princess has returned, with half-human heirs. Crowds gathered outside the palace, some cheering, some furious. Valyrians were powerful, ancient and proud. Interspecies unions were rare, and royal ones were unheard of. Advisors rushed to the queen. Your Majesty, the council demands answers. Half-human heirs cannot inherit the throne. Send the human back to his world. Separate the children for their training. Arathia raised one hand, and the entire court fell silent. My grandchildren, she said coldly, will not be separated. They will not be hidden. They will not be threatened. But silence. Her voice boomed across the hall, shaking the pillars. They carry the royal blood. They carry my daughter's legacy. And they carry the strength of a species that survived despite its fragility. She turned sharply. If any council member questions their right to exist, then I question their right to hold their seat. The hall fell dead silent. Outside, the crowds chanted the princess's name. That night, little Arya wandered into the throne room, unable to sleep. The queen found her sitting on the steps of the throne, swinging her legs. What troubles you, little star? Arya looked up. Everyone is loud outside. They are angry. Arathia sat beside her. Not angry at you. Angry at change. Arya whispered. Do they hate me? The queen lifted her chin gently. Look at me. Arya's eyes shimmered with faint glowing symbols. You carry power, Arathia said. A gift from your mother's line. And a heart from your father's people. The universe fears what it does not understand. Arya leaned into her. I don't want anyone to take us away. Arathia wrapped her arms around her. No one will. You are royalty. You are mine. Arya blinked. Grandma? Yes. Can you teach me how to be strong like you? Arathia's eyes warmed. Yes. I will teach you everything. Chapter 5. The Trial of Blood and Light. To formally recognize the children as heirs, a sacred ceremony, the trial of blood and light, had to be performed. No half-blood in history had ever faced it. The Empire held its breath. Arya stepped forward first. The crystal orb glowed as it touched her palms, then burst into radiant light. The hall gasped. She had royal power. Pure. Bright. Strong. Then little Taryn stepped forward. The orb pulsed. Once. Twice. Then glowed steady. Not as bright, but deep, warm, unshakable. The crowd murmured. Queen Arathia's voice echoed through the chamber. They are worthy. The hall erupted, not with anger, but with thunderous applause. Chapter 6. A Family Complete. Later, as the sun set, Lyriel and Kale stood hand in hand, watching their children play in the gardens with the queen. Lyriel rested her head on Kale's shoulder. I never thought we would return here. Kale kissed her hair. I never thought your mother would accept me. Lyriel smirked. She still might vaporize you. Kale paled. What? The queen approached, smirking. Relax, human. If I intended to vaporize you, I would have done it at the dinner table. Kale swallowed. That does not make me feel better. Arathia softened. You gave my daughter happiness, she said. You gave me grandchildren. For that, I owe you a debt no crown can repay. Kale bowed his head. Thank you, your majesty. And, Arathia added, if anyone in this empire threatens my family, you will stand with us. Kale straightened. Always. Lyriel slipped her fingers into his. We face everything together. The queen looked at her daughter, her son-in-law, and her grandchildren, all illuminated by the double sunset. Her voice trembled with joy and pride. My family has finally returned to me, and for the first time in years, Queen Arathia felt whole.